Hey everybody, I want to thank you so much for watching this short video on an awesome CWC success story. Today I am joined with Jess Williams, who's from the Mike Williams agency. It's her father's agency and she's the director of operations, and also Josh Orcus. Josh is our recent entry into the CWC Century Club. What that means, if you guys aren't aware of what the Century Club is, 100 or more items written, not in a year, not in a quarter, but in a month, dude. Josh, you wrote 100 items in 1 month. Will you tell me a little bit more of your background with the agency, like how long you've been there and kind of your path to Century Club?
Yeah, absolutely. So I came in here about 9 months ago. I was actually working at a distribution center for Amazon at the time, and that was I wanted something more. I wanted something where I could personally develop and get better and kind of hone my craft. So I went with insurance because it's commission based. And when it started, I was all right. I was pretty much using the power of persuasion, I suppose. But it really started to take off when I realized that, we could actually make a difference in
Hmm.
someone's coverages and actually do them a favor rather than just get them the cheapest price. And that's one of the main things that I learned from the CWC program.
Man, that's awesome. And, value selling and truly protecting your customers. Do you find that it's a lot easier to sell policies regardless of the price because you're recommending much higher limits, you're bundling like autos and properties, and I'm assuming some umbrellas are in there. Is it easier to sell that way because it makes it less about price and more about coverage and value?
Yeah, absolutely. Because, when you're selling on price, if you don't have a better price, then you don't have anything,
Yep.
right? Well, if you're getting them the coverages that they need, much better, putting them in a better position, the price is just the price. So if we're higher, you it might be worth it to them. And if not, we always have levers to pull as well. Those are some of the other things that I learned from the CWC program.
Yes, that is so awesome. So I can tell you're watching because when you say things like levers to pull, those of our members know what that means when it comes to maybe we're recommending a whole complete package for somebody, auto, property, and umbrella. What are some levers that we can pull if it's too much? And even if we break it down daily, they're interested, they're wanting to buy, but they're just not there yet. Levers that we can pull are things like increasing deductibles, applying additional discounts, reminding them of things like full pay, drive-wise, things like that they can use to get it lower, tweaking other coverages. Those are some levers we can pull. Can we also remove the umbrella? Absolutely. We can absolutely do that, but we don't just jump to that. Can we lower the liability limits a bit as long as it's more than what they have? I'm okay with that. Our floor is 100, 300. So you're pulling levers, you're getting deals regardless of price. Have you been writing policies even when you're higher? And even then, though, sometimes you don't even know, right? You might not even know if you're higher because you're not asking people how much they pay. You're just giving them the coverage that they need and asking for their payment info. But would you find that you are writing policies even when you know you're higher in price?
Yeah, I actually am, and that's for the first time I'm actually doing that. Where when I was selling on price, that was, you couldn't even think about doing that. The deal was done if you were higher.
Yeah, I
But
mean, why
now,
would somebody buy the same sweater from two different stores if they get one sweater for 50% off at one store, the same sweater? Y'all, we got to give them more. We have to be worth more. And it can't just be because you're nice. Look at Josh. He's so nice, right? He's wearing a handsome tie, right? Jess looks so nice. They're a local agency. They've been around forever. Y'all, people are not going to buy from you because you're nice and because you're local. We have to be worth more. And the thing is, people will pay more if they see the value. People buy things that they want. Now, real quick, before I pass it to Jess, I want to tell you a story that you may or may not know. I had no clue what your background was. This is the first time we've ever talked face to face. All of your development has been with on-demand videos, correct? The online platform. And of course, with Jess's leadership at the agency. But I had no clue that you worked for Amazon in like a warehouse type setting. Did you know that Beth on our team, she's been with us now for almost 8 years. She's been a Century Club agent almost every single month since April of 2015, right? She rarely misses 100 or more a month. Did you know that for 7 or 8 years before she came on board with us, she worked in a warehouse? That's what she did for 7 or 8 years. She worked in a warehouse doing like quality assurance on a production line, making sure things were boxed up correctly and done correctly. No college degree or background, no sales experience, but she got into insurance under our leadership and has been an amazing success story. Dude, you're on a faster track than her, right? She had been with us for maybe a year and a half before she hit Century Club. You did it in 9 months, man. You're on a faster trajectory. That's awesome. Let me pass it to Jess. Jess, what would you say is attributable to Josh's success? And thank you for allowing us to chat for a few minutes. You're like, I got to get this guy back on the phone and writing policies. Thank you sincerely for giving us time. But what would you attribute Josh's success to? And maybe some tips that others might learn and take away from this that are watching.
I mean, Josh, he's always willing to learn. And I think he's very coachable. And so when you present something to him in a way of like, it's going to make him better, he's like, let's do this. And I think, his go-getter mentality, and he's just very motivated, and that has made all the difference. And, bringing things to him, like we really kind of collaborate as an office. And we actually just picked up CWC 2 months ago. So he got 98 items his first month with CWC, which was so close. And then he hit it in his second month, and he's a sponge. And I think the more coachable and the more willing you are to put in the work, which he is both. I mean, I know he's going to give Beth a run for her money. So
do it. Absolutely. And I forgot that y'all were recent members. Rewind back. First month, second month, third month. What did those numbers look like? But then as you started to learn about value selling and the things that you learned from CWC, that kind of progress was obviously there. But what were the first few months like, number wise, ballpark, if you don't know exactly?
As far as the agency, we were writing about 30,000 a month. And then we hit 80 last month.
Oh my gosh.
We got nearly tripled. And that's why I said, we are so grateful for you guys and the leadership that you provide. And it's been, a blessing, and it's really helped us transform the office. And, we've got Josh in here who's a go-getter. So I think everything combined, it's been really, really awesome.
Well, this is an amazing agency success story. And I want to thank you and your father for investing in your team. CWC On Demand isn't free, Josh. They're investing in you, man. They're investing in your development. You have access to the platform videos that you can watch every single morning. There's over 800 training videos for staff, over 1,000 available videos for owners, because we have owner-only content. We do the live training on Wednesday afternoons, including role play with people. So they're investing in you. How does that make you feel to know that you're working for an agency that cares about your development? A lot of agents hire staff, if they can fog a mirror and get an insurance license and they have a pulse, right? They sit them down in their office and they say, here's some basic training, figure out the rest. I'm going to go play golf. That's not where you are, man. You're at an agency that cares about your development, is investing in you. How do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, firstly, I feel really grateful that Jess and Mike have been really supportive. And in fact, when I first got here, one of the first things that Mike ever told me was that he will never hold me back, right, from what I want to do, whether that's be super successful here or go off somewhere else or start my own agency. He was never going to hold me back. And I've always looked up to him because of that. So he really put me on this path, and he gave me my start. So that's something that I really appreciate. And because of that, I'm really loyal and trying to give returns on that investment every day.
Well, you're doing an amazing job. And I just hope that this helps somebody out there that might be on the fence. They might be on the fence. I don't have time to train, right? I don't know if I can spend $6 a day, right? On-demand program, unlimited for all users in the agency is $177 a month. It's like $6 a day, right? So I don't have time. I don't have the $6. What would y'all say? Let me just ask Jess for the investment wise, but also time wise, because there's a lot going on in the agencies, y'all. There's a lot. We've got service, we've got claims, we're trying to do sales, we're trying to run the business. It feels like we might be constantly putting out fires. From time to time, our computers might be acting kind of crazy and you want to set your computer on fire, right? But that's not all the time or rare. But there's just so much going on. Jess, would you just talk about, what made y'all decide to spend some time and a little bit of money on training, and maybe someone that's on the fence, well, they should too?
I mean, honestly, I feel like it was a no-brainer. And I feel like I am a really big advocate for learning from the best. Like, if we don't know how to do something, then surround yourself with somebody that does. You know what I mean? If they're willing to help you. And I think, just surrounding ourselves with people that know, what to do and how to help us. And that was a very easy decision. I almost think, honestly, if like you don't have time not to do it, like
Yeah.
I don't know, it's a no-brainer. If you're on the fence, it's a no-brainer. And that's, yeah. So I'm so grateful.
Awesome. And Josh, for you, do you find investing a little bit of time each day, and then during the live trainings and stuff like that, is that a good investment of your time?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I do the 2 to 3 CWC videos in the morning each day. And oftentimes when I go through those, I find things that I didn't know there, and I actually implement those strategies that very same day. So
That
it almost
day.
because as soon as I get off those videos, I have calls to make where, it comes up that I can use them. So of course it's worth it. And I use it that very day. It's not like something you have to wait. You can get started on these different strategies, overcoming objections, selling on value, right away, and it really makes a difference.
Well, I appreciate you guys' time so much. This is just the beginning for you, man. Like, what's the next step for you? Where do you see yourself next month and through the rest of the year? Is this going to be a consistent thing, or are you going to be a one and done, like a one-hit wonder?
This is going to be a consistent thing to look back on and say that, oh man, remember when you were only writing that much? So
Nice.
next goal is 150 items.
Okay.
End game is $100,000 in premium a month.
Well, I think that's very possible, right? Y'all might be watching this and think this is crazy. In fact, I had an agency say, Beth's not real, right? Like, this Beth is not a real person. Like, well, she's in all these videos. Trust me, I'm not that good with holograms. You join an elite club of dozens of Century Club agents from all across the country that we have sent Century Club awards to. Have you gotten yours yet? Or is it coming? It's probably coming in the mail. Did you get it?
Yeah, I
You
Yeah.
have
did.
it or no? Is it not there? Is it?
I do have it.
Okay, good.
Uh,
So you're one of dozens, but you know what? Those watching, Century Club can be more of a journey, not just a destination. I could ask Jess, if Josh started doing 30 to 40 albums a month and 50, 60, but he was rocking 72 albums a month consistently, would you be tickled to death about that?
Absolutely. And to be honest with you, Jess, when we started, we thought 40 items a month was honestly impossible. We were like, there's no way, that is impossible. And then, here we are a year and a half into, our agency, and now he's writing, 100 consistently, and it is possible. So
Absolutely. And you just said it. What we believe is true. I'll tell y'all this. I'm never going to run a mile in under 6 minutes. I'm never going to do it. Like, I'm just not going to do it. Right. If a bear's chasing me, I'm dead. I'm not going to run that fast. I believe that. I'm not going to do it. I think it's impossible for me. However, there's people that run a mile in under 5 minutes, under 4 minutes, right? You thought 40 was a lofty goal. He's crushing that, right? Now you set a new watermark. You're proving what's possible for you. But for those of you watching, I don't care if you ever write 100 items in 1 month. Can you just get a little bit better? Can you go from 25 to 35, from 35 to 45, maybe 50 or 60 consistently? That's a solid producer, y'all. Can you achieve what Josh has achieved? Absolutely. It comes down to effort, consistency, learning and growing, using what you're learning on the platform, growing and developing yourself within your own agency. But don't feel like you're a failure if you don't hit Century Club. Can we just get a little bit better? Well, Josh has proven he's gotten a little bit better over 9 months. He's continuing to get better. He's not done because of Jess's leadership and Mike's investment in his team. So I want to thank you both for sharing your story. I've enjoyed getting to know you. This is literally the first time we've met. Look how awesome success you've had, just from the videos. So I want to thank you for being a part of CWC. Thank you for giving us your time. If this helps one person grow and develop, man, it will be worth it. So I really, really appreciate you guys. Any final thoughts from you, Josh? Any final thoughts from those watching? Maybe some advice or some tips or even just encouragement?
Yeah, I guess only thing I would say is believe in the products. They're much easier to sell if you believe in them. So I cross sell the umbrella all the time now because I know that it's important. So just believing in the products and understanding them, having knowledge about the products makes the whole difference. It makes it easier to implement all the strategies we learned through CWC.
That's very true. If you don't believe that what you do matters, if you don't believe that it's way more about coverage than price when somebody needs their actual insurance, if you don't believe in it enough to have it yourself, you are going to struggle. So, Josh, you're a believer. You're doing fantastic. I'm proud of you. I know Jess and Mike are proud of you. And I expect great things from you, man. No pressure, no pressure, right? But I expect great things from you. And again, I want to thank you both so much for your time.
Yeah, of course. Of
Thank you
course.
so much.
Awesome. All right, dude, you got to get back to work. Get back on those phones, man. What are you doing? Get back to work, man. We got to get you on those phones writing policies. Okay, he's gone. Jess, he's gone. Thank you so much, Jess. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.